Coming up on this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we take you on a ride with wounded warriors along the Shining Sea Bikeway. We visit a cemetery in Falmouth that was recently listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The host of Striperfest shares with us a mission behind the popular event, and we learn about a proposed makerspace in town. All this and much more, including our town's headlines, coming right up on Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus. We're excited to bring you this current affairs program where we feature the people, places, and things that make up our town. In our first episode, we'll explore the headlines around Falmouth, get in depth with stories a little out of the ordinary, and bring you the sights and sounds of our municipality. We'll start with a traffic notice. The timber bridge in Sipawasset on Old Palmer Avenue is under construction and traffic is being detoured around the area. Deputy Sheriff Jason Bernardo tells us more about the project, including whether it will affect those passing underneath it on the Shining Sea Bikeway.
Right now they're preparing the road for a gas line that they're going to be inserting, and once that is complete, they'll be redoing the bridge and redoing the road here. Yeah, the bridge is very old and the gas line needs to go in and the road's a little old as well. The Sipawasset exit is still open and sections of Palmer Ave are still open, accessing from 28 area. So just local traffic here is allowed, and which is residents that live on this particular road. The road project here is expected to go until May. And people, the bike path is open, so for people that had questions about that, the bike path's open the whole time during the project. There's a 26.2 marathon that Falmouth has. It's a qualifier as far as marathon goes, so it has a pretty good turnout. This road will be open for marathon runners during that event.
The Coast Guard station in Woods Hole is looking to take down a 98-year-old 5,700 square foot building on its base. The station hopes to replace it with a 13,800 square foot multi-mission building and another smaller structure for administration and storage. FCTV took a tour of the facility recently with Coast Guard leaders in the hopes to educate the Falmouth public on the plans. The building itself is not on the National Register of Historic Places, but is within the Woods Hole Historic District. In an effort to keep our residents informed on happenings in Town Hall, FCTV Government Channel 15 has provided the following summary as a public service from the October 5th Selectmen's meeting. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
The Board of Selectmen appointed a new Director of Information Technology for the town of Falmouth in last week's meeting. Valerie O'Connor will be taking over the position November 2nd in place of Lynn Grant Majors, who recently retired after serving the town of Falmouth's IT department for many years.
Valerie is the best candidate from among a number of qualified applicants for this position. Valerie will position us in the best way to move forward in the IT area.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the affirmation, and I'm very excited to join the team on November 2nd. Falmouth is our new home. My husband retired from the Army after 37 years, and we decided New England and the Cape was where we wanted to be. We're near family, and this just kind of rounds out the entire picture for me to be able to be a part of the community here.
The Selectmen heard from petitioners for articles in the upcoming fall town meeting beginning November 9th. Topics for petitioner articles included adding fees to the town's compost facility, obtaining multiple estimates for town projects over $5,000, as well as Little Pond Sewer Service Area grinder pumps.
The first sentence of Article 24 calls for a town meeting vote to authorize this board to declare as policy that the 700 plus properties in the Little Pond Sewer Service Area that the grinder pumps are town property, effectively a part of the infrastructure, and will be maintained, repaired, and or replaced by the town.
Additionally, a petitioner article was heard and placed on the special town meeting on Tuesday, November 10th.
The article reads as follows: to see if the town will vote to support the Board of Selectmen's efforts toward maximizing the benefits and thereby minimizing any financial burden to Falmouth citizens from operation of the town's municipal turbines at its wastewater treatment facility at 154 Blacksmith Shop Road, West Falmouth, Massachusetts.
The complete warrant and more information regarding the articles on this year's November annual town meeting can be found on the town's website. FCTV will be providing live coverage of the annual town meeting beginning Monday, November 9th at 7 p.m.
To watch the full meeting, please view them on our Government Channel 15 on-demand page on our website, fctv.org. Cape Cod makers are looking to create a new makerspace at 19 Research Road in the Falmouth Tech Park. President of the Falmouth Economic Industrial Corporation, David Eldridge, explains what exactly a makerspace is and how it can impact our community.
They're kind of a phenomenon that's propping up all over the country by leaps and bounds. Essentially what it is a place where people come together to innovate, collaborate, and create. Anything from computers, electronics, metalworking, woodworking, and anything else you can think of, you'll find in a makerspace. People come together to share tools, ideas, concepts, practices, and create things.
So it was kind of a perfect match because we had a building and they had people, we had a common interest, and so that's what has brought us here tonight.
October is filled with events, and we have a few of note coming up. The Falmouth Village Association is currently hosting its Scarecrow competition, where residents and visitors can vote on their favorite scarecrow outside of Main Street businesses. The scarecrows will be on display until November 21st. The Cape Cod Marathon and Half Marathon, hosted by the Falmouth Track Club, will take place on October 24th and 25th. The Half Marathon has a 7:30 a.m. start on Saturday and the marathon an 8:30 a.m. start on Sunday. And Falmouth is hosting a big event on October 21st through the 23rd. The World Oyster Society International Oyster Symposium is taking place in Woods Hole and at the Seacrest. The goal is to spread awareness about the plight of oyster reefs and what restored reefs and oyster populations could do to heal an unhealthy ocean. Coming up, we visit a cemetery in Falmouth that was recently listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and the host of Striperfest shares with us the mission behind the popular event. But first, the Friends of Falmouth Dogs share with us a video of an adoptable dog named Sophia.
Sophia is a 2-year-old mixed breed. She's very affectionate, loves people, and is working on getting along with other dogs. Sophia needs somebody who'll give her lots of exercise. If you're interested in Sophia, give the Friends of Falmouth Dogs a call at 508-548-7742 or visit their website at www.friendsofFalmouthDogs.org.
Welcome back. In this block, we'll follow wounded warriors as they take a ride down the Shining Sea Bikeway. We visit Oak Grove Cemetery and find out the names of some of its famous residents. We have a look at On the Water Striperfest and attend a Falmouth Education Foundation event, which took place recently at the Herman Room at the library. But first, FCTV members Kevin Lynch, Chuck Warringer, and Gunnar Kanat bring us this piece on the Wounded Warrior Ride.
Well, it's important. This is our first day of our 3 days of riding in the Massachusetts area, so we're pleased to be back in Cape Cod for our 4th year. And basically the idea is we've got 54 warriors. They got fitted for their bikes yesterday, flew in from all around the country. And it's basically to get out of the hospital, get out of your house, realize even if you've got whatever injuries you're suffering from, that you can do the same things you used to do even if you do them differently. And the camaraderie that's found between all these folks together, it's an amazing experience, and we're really psyched to be back here.
So all these bikes are adapted to the warriors. No matter what their injuries are, we're able to get them on a bike. We also have a double amputee from the arms. He's going to be riding an upright bike. So no matter what they are, we're going to have them ready to ride.
Thank you for your service. Enjoy the ride.
Well, I think it's a fabulous opportunity to give visibility to our veterans in general, but particularly those who sacrificed by some loss of capability in their lives. But I'm just glad that as a town we can share this beautiful bike path. And I was just talking to one of the riders, and he said he is just looking forward to actually riding the path. And when he found out that it goes by the saltwater marshes and then also the ocean and everything else, I mean, his eyes were just lit up in expectation. So from that standpoint, I mean, I am really pleased that we can share this part of Falmouth, which is kind of special, with these folks who have sacrificed so much for us as a nation and as a community.
Yeah, so we have, I think 30 plus rides right now. We also have two overseas, one in Germany, one in the UK. We get these warriors because we have 2 hospitals both over there, and we get them over there to go ride, so they're not forgotten about. Since we do have U.S. bases over there, we have to make sure we get them a ride and get them the support that they need.
Does this help them also, get on with life after, going through these difficult situations in the war zones?
It absolutely does. It sounds almost too simple to say just getting on a bicycle, but to be able to get out, wind in your face, beautiful day, people cheering you on like the good people here in Falmouth and Yarmouth and all over Cape Cod, and it makes a tremendous difference. You can see it over the course of 3 days, and it doesn't get old for me, and I'm like about 12 years into this now.
Oh, I'm so excited to have Wounded Warriors here on the Shining Sea Bike Path. The Historical Society of Falmouth gave them some books, a lot of community interest, and a lot of gratitude for the bravest of the brave, which are here. We really appreciate it.
How was the ride for you today?
It was great. It was beautiful.
And what do you think?
That was pretty awesome. Got a lot of nice scenery.
How are these bicycles to ride? Are they pretty easy? These recumbent three-wheelers?
It's not as bad on your back and knees. It eases it up. When you're going up hills, you have to work your legs a little more, but it's a lot easier than the uprights.
They're from all over the place, so no matter where they're at, it's kind of just to kind of get them together and show our support that we love and care about them a lot, and to teach them about the programs that Wounded Warrior Project's all about and kind of what we're here to help them do.
If you look close enough, you'll often find that cemeteries have a lot of stories to tell. In the case of Falmouth's Oak Grove Cemetery, which is on the National Register of Historic Places, the stories come to life when you're on a tour with Superintendent Donna Walkaby.
People originally bought plots here. They moved their families from the other burying grounds in town here to keep the family together. Originally, a plot which was either 8 to 10 grave sites sold for $10. In 1849, that was a lot of money. But so we have gravestones that are older than 1849 here. And if you see one of those as you're wandering around, you'll know that that person was actually moved from another burying ground. All right, we all know America the Beautiful. Well, here is where the lady that wrote the poem America the Beautiful, Catherine Lee Bates, is buried. She actually was cremated, which was kind of unusual for 1929. She had no issue, so there are no descendants. I don't know who does this, but there's somebody who has come in, they put American flags here, flowers, they come by, they water them. I've never, quote unquote, caught them. I'd like to thank them that they're taking care of this gravesite. This is my friend Mary Swift, like I knew her, or she died in 1878. This is very unusual. This is a cradle grave. Now, Mary was 33 when she died, and cradle graves, I see more of them for adults than I do of children. They were very popular in the Midwest and in the South. This is the only cradle grave in the town of Falmouth. And there's the head of the grave, the bottom of the grave, and I don't know whether you can see over here, there's marble that's like the railings. And they did the plantings inside this area, and it's like a blanket that is over the grave. Now, if Patience was your great-great-granny and you tried to take a picture of this, it's going to be a little difficult. But there's a trick. And what you do is you grab the sunlight with your reflector, and as you can see, okay, that's, kind of tough to read. But when I throw some light on it, you can see the difference lights it up. You can almost even read the epitaph down at the bottom. This is Sylvanus Robinson's plot. There's 4 people here. Sylvanus is our War of 1812 guy. And we were lucky enough to get a grant from Falmouth's Community Preservation Committee to actually do preservation work on the lot of the one Revolutionary War soldier and our 1812 guys. So Colin works for Marking Burials. He's an assistant cemetery conservator. What we do is we actually take the gravestones apart and start from the bottom up, rebuilding them. Then after they're all set and everything, they'll be clean. If you wander around here, you're going to learn the history of Falmouth. So it's a great place to come learn the history of Falmouth and meet some of Falmouth's historic people in a very nice setting. Cemetery. Well, we never lock the gates, but in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, cemeteries are open from sun up to sundown, so you can come anytime you want.
We started Striperfest 10 years ago. This is our 10th year, and it's the magazine On the Water, our TV show On the Water, television, which kind of prompted us starting the tournament. We were up in Boston. We were there for 2 years. From Harpoon, we moved to Bourne. We were in Buzzards Bay. We did it 2 years. But our real point that we were trying to do, we were trying to come back here to Falmouth. We're all Falmouth guys, and we were really looking to see if we could come back to Marina Park. My hometown, I raised all my kids here. And so when Marina Park came open, we jumped in this spot. This is our 6th year here at Falmouth Park. The striped bass behind me, the biggest striped bass prior to this fish that was caught about 4 or 5 years ago was 78 pounds, 6 ounces. So this gentleman, his name's Greg Morrison, fished in our tournament, caught the world record striped bass in our tournament at 81 pounds, 14 ounces. That today stands as the world record striped bass, and he caught it. The first one to present him was us up on stage. He caught it that summer, so we're proud of it. There's only 2 of these fish, one here and one he's got himself. And so we're fortunate to have the world record striped bass with us. So what's beautiful about this is you can come out here, whether you're a fisherman or not, you can come down, and there's something for everyone here. We got stuff for kids, we got stuff for the adults, we got a lot of fishing activities that way, and there's a little bit of everything for everyone. Our job with On the Water was to partner with somebody that made sense. If you're fishing, you're out in the water, you're out in the open, and so the Melanoma Foundation made sense. So we hope to cut them a pretty good check from between some of our proceeds from the door and also our silent auction. So, you know, melanoma is near and dear to me, and having a daughter going through it and some family members, it was a great partner for us.
So the Falmouth Education Foundation is a local nonprofit. It exists to support educators in the Falmouth Public Schools. We've existed for about 10 years, and in that time we have awarded about $550,000 to about 180 projects. Kindergarten, well actually pre-K through grade 12, all schools, all disciplines, a wide variety of amounts. And it's just been growing kind of steadily over the last 10 years. Our hope is that everybody in Falmouth will know about the Falmouth Education Foundation. We are always surprised to hear that people don't. So we've had a showcase at the library. We invite people to visit our website, which is falmoutheducationfnd.org, to learn more about the organization and past projects.
Hello, we are here with Mrs. Drapo's 4th grade class, and we are discussing how we use iPads in 4th grade. One thing we've used them for is we've used the app Educreations, and we used it for science. It's a very helpful app because it helps you with your speaking, because you can record your voice. And we made slideshows on about landforms and volcanoes and stuff like that.
So this project was for the AP Art kids at Falmouth High School, the AP English kids, and we actually brought the AP Environmental Science kids, and we all went to Provincetown. We went to High Head Beach, which is actually in Truro, with Dr. Becky Gast of WHOI, and we went there to look at the seals, which she does her research. She does research with the seals and with the Provincetown Center for Coastal Studies. They try and investigate what the seals are eating, what they're doing, where they're going and things like that. So we went to the beach. The art students had to draw and paint, and the English students had to write about their experience, and they wrote something in a form called Haiban, which is a Japanese kind of travelogue, and that was something that they learned to do from a guest speaker from the Broadside Press. It's kind of a very involved project here. So everybody there had to make some kind of writing or art, and then from that we have charcoal seal drawings, and the kids made a giant sculpture, and they did all sorts of things. They made their own paper from the seaweed at the beach, and the English students, the AP English students, had to draw or paint, and the AP art kids had to write. So that was a good combination of asking students to step out of their comfort zone, which teenagers never like to do, and do something that they weren't really used to doing. So it was a lot of fun. And the sculpture ended up being 12 feet long and 7 feet wide. It was made of fiberglass and commercial fish netting, and it was juried into a show in Provincetown, and so the kids were able to go back to P-Town in the spring and see their sculpture in an exhibit. So there was a lot of different facets to the project. It was great that the FEF funded the project, funded the materials, funded the transportation, and made it possible for the students to do and see something right here on Cape Cod where they might never have seen or had this experience. So thank you to the FEF. It was really great.
FCTV is lucky to have a space where we can showcase the work of local artists. At this month's gallery, we feature an artist with an inspiring story to tell.
I would enter contests at the Marshfield Fair, at the Brockton Fair, all those places, and win prizes. Always did it throughout school. Always spent extra time in high school in the art room, doing independent studies and so forth with my art teacher, and have been doing it ever since. I did have a brief period that I, was raising children, and I would do things for family, charcoals, whatever they asked me to do, painting, and painting mailboxes sometimes. And then I went back to it after my divorce. And in 2000 I just set up a studio in my home. I said, I've got this nice slider in my bedroom, there's nobody else here anymore except the 3 kids and myself. And I started trying to get all my skills back. I had lost some. I had a brain aneurysm that ruptured in 1989, just before I was due to get married the first time. And it left me with some deficits. And luckily, that part of the brain was the strongest, because that did come back with time. But it took a lot of practice to get back to where I would even have a show like this. My twins were born prematurely, and at 3 years old, one of my twins was diagnosed with a form of autism, PDD-NOS. Later on, the second one was diagnosed with Asperger's at age 6-ish. I couldn't really handle it. So this was my expression, the autism series, of all my feelings, all my emotions, what my son might be feeling and seeing. And it's really near and dear to my heart, to especially have it up finally after all these years of just sticking it in a closet, not thinking about it, and really to go back and look at it, take it out, think of where I was at that time and where I am now, and where my sons are, who are doing very, very well. The autism series, I think of all the parents, and I hope some parents out there have autistic kids, and I'm sure many people watching this will will know of someone that is autistic, and they might get something out of one of these paintings, 2 of these paintings, maybe all of these paintings.
Many memories are made at the Carousel of Light during the summer months in Falmouth, including my own family. Our contributor Troy Clarkson, the president of the board of directors for the Carousel, gives us his take on the attraction as it packs up for the season.
Thanks, Liz. We're happy to be here and thrilled to be part of this great new show, bringing the good news of Falmouth to the people of Falmouth. I'm here at the Carousel of Light. As you can see, things are winding down here, literally. This summer we had more than 20,000 people visit this spot here on the grounds of the Mullen Hall School to share smiles and memories with their family members So more than 40,000 or maybe 100,000 memories were created on this spot right here in downtown Falmouth. So as things wind down and the crews literally dismantle the carousel, I'm chatting here with master mechanic Mike Foose, who's been a great help and a great partner to the carousel organization this summer. So another great summer under our belts, Mike.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun, sure.
So tell us, what goes into dismantling a mechanism like this? I know that this carousel is a 1947 Allen Herschel vintage,
Yes.
a pretty rare antique carousel, and so you
Yes.
really have to be careful about how you do it.
Well, we have to be careful, but maintenance.
Sure you keep the tension on. We're going to get it down today and get it stored away for the winter, so everything will be good for next summer. So all the kids will be happy again to see us, and they're already very disappointed. They've already been banging at the gates trying to get on before we close it down. So,
Well, that's great to hear. And it was through your efforts and Mike's and others that we were able to give 20,000 rides to young people, young and old, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
This summer.
Kids will remember it forever. I remember my first ride on the vineyard, so making memories in here, and great project to be involved with.
The work is happening all around us to get this beautiful antique work of art in its winter storage preparation. It'll be back here next summer. We're looking forward to another successful summer here at Mullen Hall School, and the nonprofit corporation that was formed to support and preserve the carousel is hard at work looking for a permanent location right here in downtown Falmouth. So this carousel is just one of the many things that makes Falmouth Village the really special place that it is, and that nonprofit corporation, led by a board of directors of local people, are working hard to find that permanent location. You know, this story started more than 20 years ago when Lance Schickel, the creator of the carousel, approached me and some others to help find a permanent home. And Rich Sherman and Jim Bowen and Grace Bardellis and some others got together. And here we are 20 years later, Mike.
I was fortunate to meet them 3 years ago when I moved to town, and they were having a fundraiser for it. And I got to meet them and offered my services. And it's been great. I really enjoy working with them.
Fantastic. Well, it really is a great community resource, a community jewel, really, and we're pleased to be able to bring you the update here on Falmouth in Focus. So please reach out and be part of efforts like this in Falmouth, because it's what makes it special. I'm Falmouth Enterprise columnist Troy Clarkson, and that's my take.
Thank you for watching our first episode of Falmouth in Focus. We are thrilled to bring you this collaborative effort that promises to update residents on important matters and highlight the good things that happen here in Falmouth. If you have a story idea or would like to submit a member spotlight, visit us at our website at fctv.org/FIF for more information. We'll end every episode with sights and sounds around town. This time we bring you clips from the Cranberry Cluster Dog Show, which took place at the end of September at the Cape Cod Fairgrounds. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.